This session is going to cover how to install Precise for Web. After the Precise framework is installed, whatever workstation that you did the installation from will have a couple of shortcuts. And just take a quick look at these shortcuts. Go over here to Properties, and you can see that all that this is doing is firing off Internet Explorer with a URL to access the Precise server on the communication port. So let's go ahead and run this. It's good practice to do a right-click run as admin, and that's because Windows is becoming more and more server versus workstation, and this will allow us to run with very few issues within our GUI. The next part of this is to come into admin point, and incidentally, it's kind of interesting. Precise, it tells us that, hey, you're monitoring a application running under VMware. You might as well implement vCenter. So that'll be the subject of another recording. For now, we'll go over to Installation, Applications. The installation wizard spins up, and we are working on the retail banking application. So I'll just highlight that, and in the lower right hand corner I'll click Edit. So we're basically going to monitor another application tier within this application stack. So I'll just click on Web, and this is going to be a standalone instance versus a cluster. So let's go ahead and click Add. Once again, Add Existing is there just in case you want to have monitoring of a particular technology live in more than one application grouping. For example, retail banking plus, maybe in this case, like a web server data center wide monitoring grouping. We're going to look at Apache today, and this is running on server 62. So I'll select that from the drop-down list. If Precise did not know about a particular server, I would just simply click Add and work through that process. And that's also shown under the OS monitoring video. I'm going to click Next here. It's just off the bottom of my screen, but I have a good idea of what it says. Precise does attempt to do a general amount of discovery, and so we've discovered some things here, and that Apache instance is up and running, so that definitely helps us get some of that information. So I just round out the rest of the settings here. We're going to do Web, and we're going to SP Bank is the instance. Click Next, and it's going to go to the domain settings. It actually, interestingly, picks up the port that we're communicating on. We could add additional ports as well. And let's go ahead and peek at what's under Advanced. And so this is the site that we're going to look at. We can actually look at a context. See, it's one way to kind of subdivide sites that have a shared infrastructure. That is sometimes a useful installation path. Go ahead and take a look at the preview. And so Precise very nicely tells us what it's going to install. Now, this is the first time that we're monitoring the web technology, and so that the Precise framework server will be built out to have the foundation to support that technology. So I'll just kind of skim this real quickly. It gives us some information about the space it uses, which is not really a whole lot of space, and we have plenty of extra space there. Click Install, and Precise's installation wizard runs through the installation process. Well, the installation wizard wrapped up. It can do a lot of things, but it can't do everything, so it's giving us some action items for things that it can't do. And so let's go ahead. Oh, my alarm is buzzing. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. This basically sets the filter. This is for adding an alias. It gives us a manual option. Full permissions on the precise server. We'll double check that. All right, I'll go ahead, and it's good practice to copy this to a notepad, and we'll go ahead and take a look at implementing each of those. All right, so I've gone through and done each of those post-install items one at a time, and I did have to modify the HTTPD conf manually. And so the final step was to restart Apache, and that's done on this server via services. And so here you can see the Apache 2.2. So I'll just come in and click restart, and Windows Services goes through, stops and starts it. Okay, it gave me some sort of error code, but I'll check into that. The event viewer showed this invalid command, so I'm going to take a look at that in the HTTP conf file. So I went over to the file, and I just put a # to comment out the add module. We'll go ahead and save this out. Here, let's go ahead and in services attempt to start Apache, and it starts right up. So let's go ahead and leave that remarked out for now and see how things roll. So here I've opened up Firefox, and there's a plugin called iMacros that I really like, and I had some recordings from the retail banking application, so I'm going to just go ahead and play that. And so now this application comes up, and you can see we're logging on and we're going through a number of things. One of the little benefits of iMacros is it actually opens up the browser and exercises it as you would, as an end user really would. So that's really nice. I come into this page. This is really the page I wanted to bring up, and I want to do a right-click, view page source, and this confirms that the Precise for Web is dynamically instrumenting this application page. And so what we're doing is we're actually measuring the page component response time within the end user browser. That's what you call real user management, and it's truly a measurement of the end user experience, and it's quite powerful. The solution also, as you saw, has a filter, so we can show what's both happening from a browser standpoint and what's happening at the web server level. The value of the browser is that the browser is a significant processing environment. There's a lot of script execution, different page components, and so it's really nice to have timings on all of that, because any one of them could cause a performance issue. So returning back to the installation wizard, we'll go ahead and click Finish, and I gotta move some things around and Finish, and we'll go over to Agents, and so now we should see some additional things running over here. Incidentally, you can kind of filter on things. I come over, all right, well, here are my web agents, and I can come here and I can refresh them and see if they are in one of these states. The little green running man is the state that we're hoping for. So it is running a series of tests that look for common issues, and these came out all right. or actually I just did a refresh. I didn't do a verify. Let's do the verify. That actually is what runs those tests that I just referenced. And this will take a second to run. Hey, so everything verified successfully. So that's really nice. Let's pop over to the application side of Precise and take a look there. Going from admin point to applications is pretty easy. You just click on the applications button in the top right hand corner. It's kind of a toggle. You're in the application screens or you're in admin point screens. And let's go to me. You can see that we're already collecting data there. And so we'll go over, click on the expert view for web, and the dashboard will show us some initial things. Oh, look at that. It even shows we're in SLA compliance. I think there must be some default settings going on. And you can see it's divided into web, network, and web server time. Under activity, we'll be able to potentially see some of the activity. Now there's different time buckets here. And one of the things that web does is it provides the information in near real time, that is in 30-second time slices. And there's a couple of different views. We're not going to do a product walkthrough. We'll just see if we're picking up some of the information, because it will pick up, or it can pick up user ID. In this case, everybody's coming across as all. Just for yucks, let's go over to the 20-minute window and click on users. Maybe we'll see something different there, and then again, maybe not. Well, hang on. So all right, so there is a prime the pump phase. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing. So we definitely did the installation. We verified it a couple of different ways, and it seems to be up and running. Now we've got Oracle instrumented, we've got the web server, but we want to connect the two. And in the middle of these two is WebLogic. So the next recording is going to be instrumenting WebLogic. Thank you very much for your interest in Precise.